updates here from Pop Turner, speaking to Joel D. Montgrand about True Detective Night Country on HBO, Crave in Canada. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, it's great to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to chat with you. First big question I have to ask, get it out of the way. Who has the SpongeBob toothbrush?
I know. I've been watching too, and I've been like, man, is he just straight up not brushing his teeth? What is happening?
Who has it? Because it's gone, right? Maybe she left it. Like who has the toothbrush?
Oh yeah. She's that's hers forever now. I think it's just one of those conquest things she's got above her bed or something. This guy and this guy and this guy, whatever.
For someone who's watched, the previous seasons of True Detective, there's always kind of that who done it, what happened, case by case scenario. This one kind of adds so many more elements. There's the supernatural, there's the thriller horror movie component of it that really freaks me out. What kind of how did it read to you on the page, script wise? What was the really thing that kind of came in? What was the thing that stood out for you, man?
Well, I think what really stood out is I'm a guy. I pick apart storylines and I'm able to really clue in pretty quickly as to because things are formulative. You're like, okay, what's going to happen next? This one took me for a loop, and I didn't see it coming. I fully cried when I read that last script. So great job. This is all the setup. Things are going through. They're going to start coming together pretty quickly here now. So big payoffs coming. I'm excited, man. Just because, again, the fact that I wasn't able to put it all together myself. But I'm just an idiot. They tell me what to say, so what do I know?
Well, it's interesting too because I feel like in a lot of ways, getting the role, preparing, reading it, table reads and all that, and then actually going and filming the show, I feel like in a lot of ways are two separate journeys in a lot of ways from a storytelling acting perspective. But for this show, did it feel like one kind of big journey, big storytelling journey with multiple steps, so to speak?
Yeah. It's just a culminative effort. Everyone coming together, putting it all step by step. It was wild because you just got wrapped up in it, and before you knew it, it was done. I mean, also with my shooting schedule as well, there was here and there. There were I was amazed at HBO's adaptability to work on the fly. There was something that had happened on set, and that last scene that you saw in episode 3 in the ice shack, that wasn't in my original shooting schedule. I went up, I shot all my scenes for all the episodes in the 1 week and a half in the middle. And then Issa wrote that scene in and brought me back because she was liking what I was doing.
And the fish left, though. He left.
Yeah, I know.
The fish is gone.
The fish is gone. She scared them away.
I know, the fish is gone. I felt your character's frustration.
Fish. Yeah, right.
We need to have a little bit of a spin-off of the lead up of him preparing for the ice fishing, don't we? We don't see anything. We just see him and the frustration of the distraction of the fish is gone. But no, this is an amazing character, man. This is a credit to you, man. Congratulations. You do such a good job. I'm so intrigued with this character. I want to know more about him. What did you like about this character when you were reading the script? What was something that kind of stood out with this character specifically?
Well, specifically, I'm glad that I had the proper impulse. I guess I read it the same way that she had written it, because it was a battle. Like anything, you're just hoping that your artistic impulses will catch. And Issa told me as soon as I did that audition, I was the guy she wanted, but she had to work for it because there was some other people in mind that the producers really were had for it, and she was like, "No, this is the guy. He has this character. This is who we need." And so, what I went with was the fact that I thought Kavik was a man who was raised by powerful matriarchs. Yeah. And he understood women and the fact that he wasn't trying to take any roles or impose will on them or anything like that. And it was the right call. I think he's a really layered, and you'll see coming up too. I mean, he's an interesting guy, very interesting.
And, to add to what you said at the beginning of this interview, Joel, about the fact that, there is this kind of edge of your seat, script after script, what happens, the whodunit component. I'm just curious, were you ever conscious of the audience member watching True Detective, while you were making it? Does that ever happen? I'm curious about that.
Oh yeah, totally, man, totally. I mean, it's impossible with this season. There's so many little Easter eggs and things that they've thrown in. Yeah, like all of us were big fans of the original too. And whatever your opinion is, I
Yep.
mean, it's season one, it's this masterpiece of cinema up there with Breaking Bad and all of
Yeah.
this other kind of stuff. And then people have differing opinions on two and three,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think we really delivered. Judge it as a whole once it's all out, and it'll be an interesting conversation, I think.
Oh,
But
100%. If
yeah.
we're definitely walking on eggshells. And the thing is, it's like I think this one specifically, there's trailers and everything. Going in fresh for True Detective Night Country is a very good thing. Do you agree with me? Like, it's cool to go. Do you ever watch anything like you don't know much about it, you just put it on and just jump in? Because that's
Oh
what
yeah.
I love. That it's like my favorite thing these days.
Yeah, totally. I went in, I watched Poor Things.
Yeah.
I went to the movie. I had no idea. I was just
That
like,
was
I heard that this thing has Academy. Wow, what a trip that was. It's the
yeah.
best way to see things. I actually was lucky. I was kind of in a bubble for a while, way back in the day. Matrix came out.
Yes.
I was a kid and I go to watch The Matrix, no idea.
Mhm.
No, zero. I never saw a commercial. I didn't see it. And watching, I'm like, oh yeah, get that lady. Is she a terrorist? What's going on? Why is she in
Yeah.
spandex? Yeah. What a ride. What a ride that was.
What is your opinion on the kind of thriller horror movie supernatural component of this season of True Detective? Like, what was going through your mind when you realized that was the route they were going in a lot of ways? Because there's the crime that's always there for every True Detective. Other
Mhm.
seasons don't have these kind of scary elements. Like, there's some elements of the show that really terrified me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, totally. And it's great too because right now everyone is wondering,
yeah,
right? At this point in the story, everyone's like, is this psychological? Is it a horror? Is this just misplaced uh, evidence or what is going and honestly, that's just great storytelling at
yeah,
this point because you're like, what's because it pays off. It pays off. Don't worry.
yeah,
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled about just the fact that I got to work with these amazing people
a
and I got
hundred
to
percent.
play such a nuanced dude. So it's great.
Can you also talk about one of the most important things and the best things is the representation in the show? That's one of the best things about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
completely. I mean, anytime that I'm fortunate enough to get to play someone like me, an Indigenous man,
Yep.
he's because I'm well aware of how I look, and if you do go for anything historical, I actually refuse auditions for Indigenous characters if it's something in the past. We need someone riding on a horse, and I'm like, get me as the fur trapper guy that gets killed. I don't. But we're real. We exist here. This is great. And the cast, we all came together. It's always like that when you get a group of Indigenous folks together. We all laugh. All the heavy lifting is done,
Mhm.
and it just makes it so much easier for us as actors to really just focus on character work.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's so great. It's a great cast. And what's it like working with everyone? Like, what's it like working with Callie? I mean, you have the most scenes with her specifically, but like, what's it like working with
Mhm.
everyone specifically on this?
Well, Kaylee is
Kaylee, yeah,
great. Yeah. She wildly enough, like the most terrifying scene was her very first scene when that was the intimate one.
okay.
Like she's a
Was
powerful,
that the
powerful
SpongeBob
human being.
toothbrush scene?
Yes. It's the very first one. So and it's our very first shot, everything, and we're all there, and but
Yeah,
we thankfully the industry's changed a lot, right? Like
yeah,
we're working with intimacy coordinators. Things are all blocked out, and we still make it look natural, real. And it's funny because she's the type of woman that's like, yeah, you can punch me in the face, literally punch me in the face, but whoa, this is okay. We're getting intimate. Okay, just got to take a little bit of a breath and okay, focus. And so I was just really proud of the work that we did together. Jody is fantastic. I was really starstruck,
Mhm.
obviously, when I first met her. You can imagine. And I got that great quid pro quo line in there, which was so much fun. I got to say that.
Yeah.
But when I met her, she just slapped me on the belly the first time that I ever saw her, and like, boo, boo, and she like, you did it, because I worked out like a mofo. I lost like 25 pounds to do this
Mm,
role.
yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, it was great. She just instant human being, instant bro. She's so smart. She's so smart, well read. Yeah,
Yeah,
great
and
woman.
it. I just love. I just get kind of intrigued with what, like, I want to learn more about the characters. That's like, I meet these characters, like I meet your character, and like I want to know this. I want to know his backstory. You know what I mean? So like when you get the scripts for this, like you get what we see, right? You know, in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? Things get sometimes cut or changed and everything, but like that's what you see. Do you have those feelings too? Like, wow, this is like an interesting dude. Like, I want to maybe learn more. Like, is there like kind of this interest like in like exploring this character more, like before you even film it, like when you get the scripts?
Oh,
Yeah,
100%. Like, I mean, that's where all the work as an actor comes in, and you create something, you put it up there, you offer it, and then you got to let it go.
yeah,
So, again, being right with my instincts, it really paid off. Sometimes, you make the wrong call, who knows?
yeah,
But you got to find the right person for the right part, and I'm really glad that Issa fought for me for this one.
yeah, 100%. No,
Because
you do such a good job. And again, before we started, we did like that little like 2-minute like pre-interview before we started. Like I was like, I love this character. Like this guy's the best.
Yeah, me too. He's so funny. Like, and
There's
I
a
tried
cool,
to.
he's cool. He's
Yeah,
a cool guy.
he's a very cool guy, and I really worked hard at, because the show is so dark, it's so cold.
Yeah, it
And I
is.
recognize these moments. I had the opportunity to try and bring in a bit of warmth and humor into it and still stay believable in that. I didn't want to make it shticky and slapstick or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, I love that bathtub scene. That was a lot of fun. I did one take where I put on a giant bubble head,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, maybe not.
Now this was filmed in Iceland.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
that's
were
right.
you were in Iceland. Were you there for a good how long were you there for specifically?
Yeah, I got the call. I got booked into the part, and I knew it. I had about a month
Okay.
before I had to get up there. So then immediately I was training and working out all the time.
Yep.
I went up there for about 2 weeks, and we did cast read of all the
Yep.
things, intimacy training things
Yep.
that we were working on, some blocking. Then I went away for another month to continue to get in shape.
Yep.
And then I came back, and we shot all of my stuff in about a week and a half.
Okay.
And that's when Issa wrote another scene for me, and then I came back again for a third time.
The fishing, the ice fishing.
For the ice fishing scene, yeah,
Oh,
which is great because it's such a beautiful shack, and I love that.
100%. What is also your what's your mood and mindset when you wrap a project? And I feel like it depends on the project and everything, but when you wrap like this show, which you mentioned, like it's very dark and very intense and exhausting sometimes, even from an audience member. Like, do you need a break? Are you like, what's the next project? Like, I'm just curious, like what your mindset is when you wrap this project specifically.
Well, I'm a big theater guy,
Yeah.
actually. So, I always get the post-theater blues, and this was no real different, except that it was continuing on. So it was wild to see all my friends are still working for another like 2.5 months, and
Yeah.
I'm finished. I did all my stuff. So I went off, and I actually went right back into doing some theater. I did a movie over the summer during the strike. It was an all Canadian production, so there was no breaking of rules or anything like that. All Indigenous, really cool. But I got back into theater. Funny enough, my agent was like, "Don't do that." But then the strike was going on, and
When
I was
did you
like,
shoot Beans?
goodness.
Was Beans?
Beans?
Yeah.
Oh, Beans. That was 5 years ago, I think.
Oh, I love that movie. It's a great movie. I've seen that movie. It's a
Hey.
great movie, dude.
Oh, I'm so happy you saw it. That's where all roads lead to Beans, man. That's where
Yeah.
all my breaks came from. That's where I got the Avatar audition
I
from.
was about to say,
Yeah.
because I have an interview with a cast member that you worked on Avatar and Beans with coming out soon. This is I just broke
for
it.
real?
Yeah.
Which one? Which one? Can you
Um,
say? Or
okay. Yeah.
You'll have to edit it out. Okay. Well, you'll tell me later.
Well, she's also in Avatar.
Hey, well, there we go. I know.
No, I'm
Easy
super
peasy.
excited. No, because I love Beans, man. That's a great one.
Yeah.
5 years ago, really? I feel like that movie, but that movie came out like 2-3 years ago, I think, or was available. During a pandemic. That was a pandemic watch. Like I watched that during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was because Gawandio was 12, she's 17
Yep.
now. So yeah, it was 5 years ago we filmed it. And then then there's post and then
For
went
the
into
Avatar fans, sorry, that are watching this interview, I can confirm that's who the interview is with.
You make sure you tell her I said hi. I'm trying to get her on my podcast, which will happen, but I'm waiting until after Avatar comes out, so we don't have to.
Absolutely. I
censor
can't
ourselves.
wait for Avatar, and I'm so stoked that you're in that too. I mean, was that like, is it overwhelming to work on something that existed before in another kind of source material? Like, I'm just wondering about that, right? Like, there's like the animated show on Nickelodeon. Like, we've seen these characters before. Like, what's that like for you, diving into something like a new version of something that we've seen before? Like, I'm curious about that.
Yeah, well, for that specific role, I was, don't rock the boat, man. You already got a winning show. It's incredible. People don't want to, go and see some crazy character arcs of that don't exist in the cartoon or anything, right? And plus, we're trying to make up for that travesty that came out 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was.
I didn't say anything, but
I'm saying it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward. The fans are gonna finally get something that actually,
Oh my
does
gosh,
some
this is great. We
justice.
talked a little bit of Avatar. I love this. Avatar: The Last Airbender, February 22nd on Netflix.
That's the one.
True Detective Night Country episodes are rolling out every Sunday on HBO and on Crave in Canada, so they can check that out. Joel, seriously, it was so great chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah. Instagram is where people keep up to date, right? You have an Instagram account?
Exactly. Joel D. Montgrand, all one word.
And tell me about your podcast a little bit. Like, could they check out that a little bit? Or is that out yet?
Please check us out, actorsandancestors.com. I mean, you'll find it on the streaming platforms. It's just Indigenous actors. Hey, check it out. I got a little, look at this guy. Boop.
Ooh, awesome.
Actors and Ancestors right there. Boop, scan that. So we just chat with Indigenous actors, talk about their journey, try to inspire other people to do the same. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, this has been Pop Turn, youtube.com/PopTurn for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Joel D. Montgrand and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.